Welcome to the Orange County Department of Education College and Career Fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as the facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first announcement, your camera and microphone are off, so our presenters cannot see or hear you. Second announcement, this is just one of a few different sessions that we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. Next announcement, this presentation is being recorded and you can access the recording by visiting strivescan.com/COSI. And then also, I want to share with you all that you can use the Q&A feature in Zoom to type your questions to our presenters at any point throughout our session today. With all of that said, I want to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter from Franklin University.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to get my screen shared here, and then we'll get going. All right. Well, my name is Matthias Caldwell. I am the regional admissions representative on the West Coast for Franklin University, Switzerland. I always like to start with this kind of aerial shot of the area around Lugano, Switzerland, because that's where Franklin is located. As you can see, it is a postcard, picturesque kind of location. It is a wonderful place to do your 4 years of college. What you're seeing is Lake Lugano with the city of Lugano arrayed kind of around the outskirts of Lake. That big building in the foreground of this slide is actually one of our primary academic buildings. And so as you can see, while we're not in the middle of the city center, we are about a 15 to 20 minute walk away from the kind of the downtown area. So easy to get down there and go to cafes and restaurants, walk along the lake, anything you wanted to do to kind of be near the hustle and bustle of downtown, while at the same time still having that kind of peace and quiet of being a little bit removed. We are in a great location for a lot of outdoor activities. If you like hiking, biking, water sports, skiing and snowboarding are nearby as well. But what is Franklin University, Switzerland, kind of at a glance? Well, we are an American liberal arts university in Europe. And so it kind of gives you the best of both worlds scenario in that you get, the excitement and, uniqueness of a European global experience, while at the same time, still keeping the structure of an American university that you might be more familiar with. For example, we're still going to have a 4-year plan to degree completion. And we're going to have that kind of broad-based core curriculum that a liberal arts college is going to have. We are also dual accredited, which means that we're accredited in both the US and in Switzerland, which is nice because you know that when you come back to the United States, you don't have to worry about any kind of hiccups when you're applying to graduate school or looking for employment. We are a small university of about 400 students. And so we definitely attract students who want both that global experience, but they also want a personal touch in really everything that they do with their college experience. So, from the size of the classrooms to that student to faculty ratio being quite small to just being able to know everybody on campus and all of your classmates, et cetera. We get students coming in from all over the world, almost 60 different nationalities with about 50% of them holding a US passport. We do have on-campus housing still, which is another one of those kind of benefits of being an American institution abroad. We have a few more of those resources that, students are familiar with looking at the United States schools. In terms of academics, we have that broad-based liberal arts curriculum in the humanities and the social sciences, of course, but we're also going to have a lot of really strong programs along international business and management, international finance, and banking, teaching students how to succeed in an increasingly global and technological world. Students that want to start their own business, work in a multinational corporation or a nonprofit or an NGO that's going to span international borders. We're going to have that global angle to those degrees. Marketing, from an international standpoint, international relations. So a lot of different, programs that have that international and kind of business management lean to them. But where exactly is Lugano? So on the bottom left of that screen right there, you can see a map of Switzerland, and there's that yellow region highlighted. It's the Canton Ticino, which is sort of the Swiss way of saying a state. And this region is the Italian-speaking region of Switzerland. So it kind of, again, has the best of both worlds scenario in that, you have that kind of efficiency and timeliness that comes with Swiss culture, the rail lines on time, everything like that, but a more Mediterranean, vibe and lifestyle kind of permeating across the border from Italy, and also in terms of the cuisines and things like that. It is the third biggest financial center in Switzerland and the eighth largest city. So although it's not a huge city by any means, it definitely, there's a hustle and bustle, and it is a hub of activity from people coming all over the country and from different countries as well. We're near Milan, about an hour away by train, and only about 2 hours away from Zurich. And so, we are within, a hub in both directions in terms of if you wanted to get in and out of the continent when you're coming to Franklin or going home, and then just traveling around, the continent on a free weekend. It's very easy to find a $50 flight to Paris or Rome or Madrid, for example. In terms of application, it's pretty easy to apply. We are on the Common App, so if you are applying to other Common Application schools, you can absolutely just add us onto the list. Or if you're not doing that, you can apply through our own application on the FUS website, fus.edu. We are going to need a personal statement, an essay, and a letter of recommendation from an academic source. And these are chances for you and your recommender to kind of let us know a little bit more about you, of course, and why an international experience is something that you're looking for, why you feel like Franklin might be a good fit for you, things like that. So definitely, those are areas to focus on. We will definitely need your transcripts as well, and we are test optional, so you do not need to send us a test score if you don't want. Apply by December 1st for the fee waiver to kick in, which is great in terms of your application fee, and then it puts you in full consideration for all of our scholarships. And with that, I will leave you with my contact information. You can see my email there in the upper corner. And again, I just like to leave you with this last aerial shot of the area around Lugano, just because it is such a wonderful and beautiful place to spend your 4 years of college. And with that, I'm going to stop my screen share, and I am going to turn it over to my next colleague. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from the University of South Florida.
Thank you. Let me share my screen here. All right. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm going to be talking about the University of South Florida. Just to introduce myself, my name is Chrissy Pugh. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Regional Recruiter Advisor for the state of California. Just to give you an overview of the University of South Florida, we were founded in 1956, so we are a relatively young and thriving university. And though we are young, we still maintain an overall enrollment of around 50,000 students, with a student to faculty ratio of 21:1, and our average class size being 33 students, so similar to what you see in high school. USF does pride itself on diversity, with 41% of our students coming from diverse backgrounds, and we do have students from all 50 states and 145 different countries. We do have close to 200 majors in concentration across our 14 academic colleges. One of our highlighted academic colleges is our MUMA College of Business. Within this college, we do have 6 different schools and 13 different majors, ranging from business advertising with our Zimmerman advertising program, business analytics, supply chain management. All of these are housed within this college. And we do have a business honors program. So it's a separate program within our Judy Grenschaft Honors College. And we do have a living and learning community as well. So this will put you living on the floor of a residence hall with people of the same major as you. We are America's fastest rising university, so we are ranked 46 by US News and World Report, and we are very proud of this fact. So fastest rising just means that we are quickly rising in the rankings, and it just shows that we are on the right trajectory to make our way to the top. We are one university geographically distributed, and what this means is when I say University of South Florida, I'm referring to all 3 of our campus locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Sarasota, Manatee. Each campus offers something a little bit different, a little bit unique. You will actually get to pick which campus you want when you apply. Tampa is the biggest of the 3, where lives live larger. It houses a majority of our academic colleges, majors, as well as student organizations. St. Petersburg is a little bit smaller, where city meets sand. It's a beautiful beachfront town. So if you're looking for a little bit smaller campus size, or maybe you're interested in marine science, this would be a really great campus for you. Sarasota Manatee is the smallest of the three. It only has a couple thousand students on this campus. So think private school feel, but for a public school price. As far as student life, we do have over 1,000 student organizations on campus, as well as on-campus events, so you definitely won't get bored. And we are an NCAA Division I athletic, so we play in the American Conference, and we actually share a football stadium with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we play in the NFL Stadium, the Raymond James Stadium, so that is cool. If you're interested in sports but don't necessarily want to play at that D1 level, we do have our recreation and intramural sports team. So that's one of our student organizations on campus. And my personal favorite fun facts is there is a Publix. Publix, if you're not familiar, is a very popular grocery store chain in the South. So it's very helpful for our students to have one on campus. Switching gears now to some freshman admissions information. So you can apply online on the Common App, Coalition app, or our USF admissions website. And our application is very straightforward. We just need three things: the $30 application fee or an application fee waiver, your official high school transcripts, and your official ACT or SAT test scores. Once you submit these three things, your application is complete and we will review it. I've also included our admitted freshman profile over there on the right, just to give you an idea of what the average admitted student, what their GPA and what their test score was. In regards to tuition and fees, as an out-of-state student, you're looking at around $17,000 for the academic year. But when you include tuition and fees, housing and meals, books, supplies, and other, you're looking at around $35,000 for the academic year. And yes, $35,000 is a large sum of money. However, when you compare that to other institutions and universities, our rates are extremely competitive and affordable. In fact, we have one of the lowest tuition rates in the country. Even for our out-of-state students, you'll find that our rates are often the same, if not lower, than in-state rates at non-Florida universities. One of the ways in which you could offset that tuition cost is going to be through freshman admission scholarships and waivers. And we do offer these for our students. They are all merit-based, meaning if you have the GPA and you have the test score and you've applied by the deadline, you're automatically going to get the scholarship associated with that award amount. It starts with a 3.5 and a 1210 SAT, and it goes up from there. And these are a 4-year award amount. So once you receive the scholarship, you can maintain it for 4 years. Winding down with some deadlines. So our application is currently open and you want to make sure you apply by December 1st. That's our priority application completion deadline. Submitting your application by this date just gives you your best chance of acceptance as well as campus selection. If you don't meet that December 1 deadline, our next big deadline is January 15th. That's the application completion deadline for those admission scholarships I just spoke on. Excuse me, you have to apply by January 15th in order to be considered, but if you apply by December 1st, you don't have to worry about that. And then May 1, that's our admissions deposit deadline. Let us know by that date if you are going to come to USF. So I know that was a lot of information I threw at you guys. So this is my contact information and I will put it in the chat as well. But if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. And thank you guys so much, and go Bulls.
Thanks, Christy. Our next presenter is from the Essec Business School.
Thank you. I'm going to start and share my screen. Okay, so my name is Julie and I'm the representative for Essec Business School in the US. So Essec is a leading French business school. So this presentation might be for you if you are interested in studying business abroad, specifically in Europe and in Singapore. So we were founded in France in 1907. We have French roots, but we are now a world school because we have 4 different campuses in 3 different countries. So we have 2 campuses in France, in the Paris region, 1 campus in Asia, in Singapore, and 1 campus in Morocco. At Essec, we have approximately 7,000 students on campus and a community of 62,000 alumni and graduates around the world. We have almost 40% of international students and 102 nationalities are represented on campus. So if you join us, you won't be the only international student. Essec is also an academic institution of excellence. The program that we offer for undergraduate studies is ranked first in France for bachelor in 4 years in business administration. The school is ranked 6th best business school in Europe, and a master's program are also ranked among the best in the world. So I will continue and share with you a few pictures of our campuses. So if you decide to join us at Essec, you can choose to attend either the France campus or the Singapore campus. You can also switch and attend both campuses in the 4 years. So the France campus is located in Paris. We're 35 minutes outside of the city. We have public transportation at 5-minute walking distance from the campus, so it's very easy to go to the center of Paris. But we have all facilities on campus. We have housing on campus, sports centers, so everything that you need. And the other campus where you can start the BBA program is in Asia, in Singapore. So it's a new campus. We built this campus the campus opened, in 2015. So now the program that we offer specifically in business is a global BBA program. So it's a bachelor in business administration in 4 years. Of course, all of our courses are taught in English, even in the French campus. The global BBA is an innovative mix between the academic excellence, the professional experience, and the international exposure that you can gain. So what you will learn exactly if you join us during the first 2 years at Essec, you will be learning core courses and foundation courses in business management and international business, with courses like strategic management, international marketing, introduction to finance, but also introduction to entrepreneurship. And in addition to that, you can also learn other languages, so 2 other languages besides English, since the program is international. The last 2 years of the program are very flexible. You will be able to design your own curriculum for the last 2 years and choose your courses. It can be more advanced courses, so you can specialize if you want to. It will be up to you at that moment. At Essec, you will also gain a full professional experience. So you have to complete a minimum of 10 months of professional experience before graduation. So before at the end of the 4 years, you can see on the screen how and when usually students do their internship. So it's a minimum of 10 months, but it can be up to 16 months if you choose to apply for a specific work study program where you will be part of the time studying on campus and part of the time working for a company. If you choose that specific track, the company will pay for your tuition fee for the last 2 years of the program. So it's also a way for you to finance your studies. And since the program is called Global BBA, we also wanted to emphasize on opportunities for international exposure. So in addition to studying in France and Singapore, you can also study 1 more semester in another campus, in another country with a partner institution. It can be just an exchange semester. It can also be a double degree. We have a double degree option and specific international track with other institutions in the rest of Europe, but also back in the US or in Asia, for example. And last point that I wanted to mention is regarding the application, tuition fee and financial aids. So our application is online directly. So you have to start your application on our website. It's www.essec.edu. You can see on the screen the documents that you will require for your application. In addition to that, if you're shortlisted, you will be called for an online interview. And regarding fees and scholarship, so total tuition fee for a year at Essec would be $16,000 approximately for the France campus. We also offer financial aids at Essec. So we have 2 kinds of scholarship for international students, the academic excellence and the regional diversity. It can cover up to 35% of your fees. So if you have any question, you have my email on the screen. It's pinon@essec.edu. I'll write it in the chat box also after. So thank you for attending the presentation, and I hope it was informative.
Thank you, Julie. Our next presenter is from Florida Southern College.
All right, so hello everyone. My name is Shannon Barnes and I'm one of the senior admissions counselors at Florida Southern. We are actually located right smack dab in the center of the state of Florida in a town called Lakeland, which is about 45 minutes to an hour between both Tampa and Orlando. So you're in good access to two really big cities, but the college itself is located in a town of about 115,000. Lakeland is statistically one of the fastest growing areas of the US, so it's a really vibrant and really cool place to be coming to college. And Florida Southern's a nice small private school that really gets an awesome community feel within that town that's kind of grown up with the town of Lakeland. So we run about 3,000 total students. That includes about 500 people in graduate programs. So we are primarily undergraduate institution with a really strong focus on really engaged learning, a lot of teaching work from the faculty, and really diving in to get hands-on in your studies. I'll talk a little bit about the academic programs related to business in a minute, but we really span about 70 different academic programs. So if you are interested in doing something like a double major between business and biology or business and dance, then there's a ton of flexibility that you can do that. All of Florida Southern's programs are open enrollment. So you don't apply to the major, you apply to the college as a whole, with a couple of exceptions, that being the nursing program and some of the performing arts programs like our theater. So unless you are looking at one of those majors, you apply to us as a whole and tell us what you're interested in, but it's very flexible and you can change that as you're going through. We are a Division II school if you're thinking about doing sports, but if sports aren't your thing, there's also a ton of other opportunities to get involved on campus. This is definitely a very close-knit and active campus environment. So there's a ton of clubs, a ton of organizations, Greek life and campus ministries, if that's something that you want to have part of your experience, but also not an overwhelming presence. So one of the other things that Florida Southern really structures your academic experience around is what we call our 3 guarantees. And in a lot of ways, these kind of form the backbone of what we want you to scaffold into your time at Florida Southern. So the first big one is that we guarantee that you'll get a chance to study abroad. We really want that to be part of the student's experience, and we want it to be flexible. So you can do that in a couple of different ways. You'll receive a credit as part of your tuition after your 4th semester that can either partially or fully cover the cost of about half the trips that we offer in a given year. So a lot of students are able to study abroad at no extra cost, which is super cool. And those trips can be anywhere from a week to a month long. They're designed to happen during breaks, over the summer, during winter break, so that you can do something and get abroad without necessarily having to take time away from your classes. So if you are doing a really intense double major, or if you're a student athlete, and going abroad for a full semester or for a full year isn't necessarily going to be something that you want to do, but you still want that international experience, we still want to make sure that's accessible to you. There are also a bunch of different semester and year-long programs. So if you do want to go for a longer period of time, you can also use that junior journey credit towards those as well. The next big internship opportunity is talking about those guaranteed internships. So those can be as close as right here in Lakeland with places like public supermarkets. I know USF touched on that a little bit. Lakeland is the headquarters for Publix. So there's a ton of really cool opportunities there. Obviously a lot in the business area, but also in things like computer science and graphic design. So they're a really big opportunity for students, but there's also places like Geico, Lockheed Martin, and we've had students do internships as far away as South Africa and the Philippines. So really a global network there. It's pretty common for students to do more than one internship by the time they graduate, but you're guaranteed at least one. And then we guarantee that you're going to graduate on time because fundamentally, we believe that a 4-year degree should take you a 4-year degree. Like a 4-year program in general across the US at this point is now taking an average of about 5.5 years. So we really want to make sure that students are getting the chance to graduate on time and continue on into the next phase of their life. So specific to the business program at FSC, as a kind of business school, we have a lot of different opportunities for students. So you can dive into something like accounting, you can go into a general business administration major, you can do something like entrepreneurship or finance. There's even a couple specializations like music and sports business. So depending on what your interests are, you can kind of pick and choose from this list. We also have a ton of opportunities for students to do graduate programs. So if you decide that you would like to continue on to get your MBA or do like a Master of Industrial and Organizational Psychology, those are also options through us. And a lot of those can be done as a 4+1 program for 2 degrees in 5 years. We also have a bunch of different extracurriculars that are related to business. So this is kind of a general overview. But I've really found that the business students tend to spend a lot of their time working on business projects outside of the classroom as well. And this is an environment that really supports that. So it's very easy to kind of find a group of people who are going to help you develop your passions both inside and outside the classroom. In terms of applications, we are test optional for the upcoming year. So if you are looking at applying, you don't have to submit test scores and the application is free. So we're on the Common application, the Coalition application, or you can submit the FSC application. And I'm more than happy to help with any questions that you might have about admissions or financial aid. So I think that hits my time and I will go ahead and wrap up so the next person can go, but let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Shannon. Our next presenter is from the University of Tampa.
Hey everyone, my name is Madison McGlone. I'm presenting today for the University of Tampa. I'm actually filling in for my colleague Stacy Fonseca, so you'll see her contact information at the end as she works with all students coming from the West Coast. If you're unfamiliar with the University of Tampa, we were in good company tonight with FSU and USF who had just spoken. So we are located about within that area. So if you want to go on a tour of all three, be our guest. We'd love to have you in our area here. Tampa Bay is one of the fastest growing regions in the entire country, as we talked about earlier. So I have a few of my favorite Tampa photos. We're actually the only college that's right smack dab in the heart of downtown. So we're right on the Hillsborough River that you can see pictured there. Our students can go in and walk to lightning games, participate in boat parades, things like that, and also have walking access to jobs and internship opportunities. So it's really a fantastic location for our students. To see what I'm talking about in greater detail, here's an aerial view of our campus. We have about 10,000 students on a 110-acre campus. We're mostly residential for freshmen and sophomore students, but most juniors and seniors will opt to move off campus and into the city. We have about 9,000 undergraduate students and about 1,000 students in our graduate school programs. And we are a private liberal arts university. We are known for our strong Psych College of Business, but we also have fantastic programs in all different disciplines. So if you're looking to major or minor in a different area, it's definitely possible during your time at the University of Tampa. We have students who attend from all 50 states and over 130 different countries. In fact, 70% of our students are coming from outside the state of Florida. So you'll definitely be in good company and be able to expand your social circle and meet students from all over the country and the world. When it comes to our class sizes, even though we're a medium-sized school, we do have classes that are sized for learning. So our average class size is going to be about 21 students. We don't have any lecture halls on campus, and all of our professors have the terminal degree in their field. So we really mean it when we say that you're being led by experts in your area of study. And even though we have graduate assistants on campus, they're there to assist, as their title says. So they're not leading the classroom. You're really going to get to know your professors well, so they can appropriately point you in the right direction for job opportunities, internship opportunities, research grants, and so forth. As I mentioned, we have over 200 different programs at the university. Most of them are direct admit, so you don't need to apply. As we were saying, if you were interested in the Psych College of Business, you can apply for a program in that area. But if you change your mind or your interests kind of vary as you study, you can really switch to different programs easily or come in undecided entirely. The Psych College of Business houses several different programs, including marketing, accounting, finance, international business, entrepreneurship, and the list goes on. Something that we're really known for in terms of our entrepreneurship program is we actually have an entrepreneurship center on our campus. So this houses a few different facilities, but my favorite one is the pitch room, which is on that top right-hand corner there. And the pitch room is kind of like the show Shark Tank, if you've ever seen that. So students can pitch their business proposals to local Tampa Bay investors, parents of current students, UT alumni, you name it. They provide critical feedback for our students' ideas and also some seed funding as well sometimes too. So it's really great for our students to get their ideas up off the ground and running. As I mentioned, we are within walking distance from dozens and dozens of different internship and job opportunities here in Tampa, and we have access through our alumni network to opportunities around the entire world. We have a fantastic career services team to help students access these opportunities, apply for them, whether it's working on their resume, their cover letter, even picking out an outfit for their interview. They're a really holistic service that is there to help you every step of the way. Of course, we love to highlight what's in our own region here in Tampa Bay. Again, many of these are within walking distance from campus. We have opportunities that really run the gamut from professional sports teams, medical facilities, financial institutions, nonprofits, and students of all different disciplines will work in these sectors. So I even know of a cybersecurity student who interned for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So you really can kind of expand your horizons and dabble in different areas, even if it's not what you think it would be going into the field that you're interested in. We have fantastic study abroad opportunities to over 60 different countries. We offer traditional semester-long opportunities, year-long opportunities, and then travel courses. So you can go away for a week or two at a time and don't have to worry as much about a longer time commitment. When it comes to the extracurriculars though, right, the things outside of the classroom experience, residence life, Greek life, club sports, as I mentioned, we have a really active student body because our students are coming from so far and wide. They can't just kind of pack up on the weekends and call it quits and go home. We really look for students who are heavily involved in their high school, who are independent, who want to expand their social circle, because that's the kind of environment that you're going to find here at UT. We have fantastic residence life on our campus with 27 different dining options, most of which, again, are at the bottom of our residence halls. So it makes it really easy for you to roll out of bed, grab a snack late at night, early in the morning, things like that. And as I mentioned, we have a really active student body. So we have over 250 different clubs and organizations hosting thousands of events each year, everything from Greek life, intramural clubs and sports, and really unique clubs to us here in Florida and Tampa. We have skydiving clubs, scuba diving clubs, snorkeling club, even a hammock club. So there's lots of opportunity no matter where your interests lie. We also have NCAA D2 teams that compete in the Sunshine State Conference and offer ROTC if that's something you're interested in. I do apologize, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm just going to click through the application information here. Super straightforward, 3 applications, 3 items that we'll need from you. Again, I know I'm cut low on time here. We're currently in early action 1, so if you want to apply by November 15th, you'll hear by December 20th. We offer a lot of financial aid. Merit scholarships are released right when your decision is released. We are a private institution, so the tuition is the same no matter where you are attending from. And I'm going to go ahead and put Stacey's contact information in the chat as well, as I mentioned, just so you can reach out to her in case you have any questions. But thank you so much for learning about the University of Tampa today.
Thank you, Madison. So that concludes the presentation portion of our session today. But now we're going to transition to the Q&A. I want to encourage all of our attendees, if you have any questions, feel free to use that Q&A feature in Zoom. For our presenters, feel free to turn on your camera, and I will pose a question to the group. Our presenters will respond to the question in the order in which they present it. The question is, what is one thing you want students to remember about your institution?
Yeah, I think that one thing that students should remember about Franklin University, Switzerland, is that we're a best of both worlds scenario in the sense that you get the European global experience while still maintaining the structure, resources of what you're used to seeing in an American institution. So if you want kind of both, then we can be a good option.
I would say one of the things I want you guys to remember about the University of South Florida is just that we have over 200 majors and concentrations. So you have a lot of options, probably whatever it is you're interested in, we probably have it. And, you know, also with us being a large university, try to see that, you know, in a positive light, because the great thing about a big school, it comes with a big metropolitan city. And so that comes with a lot of opportunities. So I think that's really important to remember.
So if you have one thing to remember about Essec Business School is that first we're a multi-campus school, so you have the possibility to choose your campus, study in France or in Singapore, in both. It's really up to you. And the second thing and the last thing is the flexibility of the program. If you know you want to study business and international business and don't know specifically what in business, well, with us, you can explore during the first 2 years different courses, and you can specialize at the end during the last 2 years. So that would be the two things that you should remember about Essec.
For Florida Southern, I talked a little bit about kind of the academic support and the 3 guarantees and how those structure in. And what that ultimately means is that we've been ranked #1 in the country for undergraduate business teaching, and that's really central to kind of your success for coming through the business school. So I think that's it for us.
I would say for the University of Tampa, I just want you to remember our fantastic location in downtown. As I mentioned, Tampa is one of the fastest growing cities, and our students have really the best of both worlds. They have access to a downtown urban area, but they also have a traditional college campus right across the river to call home as well. So it's really the best of both worlds for our students. And again, just walking distance to awesome internships. And it doesn't beat having the Super Bowl and the Stanley Cup parade in your backyard as well. So lots of fun too.
Thank you all. Next question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
My advice would be to not get tunnel vision. And what I mean by that is try to pick a college based on more than one set of criteria, find the right fit for you on a number of different points, from academic to financial to location, geography, school size, all those things. People are dynamic and you will change during your 4 years of university, and you want to make sure that when you change, your school is still a good fit for you, and because you picked it on multiple criteria.
My advice to students would be to get connected with your admissions counselor, your regional recruiter. You'll notice that a lot of us work specifically with California students, so we are here to help you guys, and be a point of reference for you, and also support in any way that we can.
So my advice would be to contact as many people as possible in the college or university where you want to apply. So as my colleague said before, you have the regional rep, but you also have current students, maybe student from the same high school or the same state could help you in the process. You can contact alumni of the program as well. You can attend a different webinar information session. I think that you are never too informed, so you really have time, before applying to really gather all this information, so that when you make your decision and when you're applying, you're ready and you know the program and the school, the one that you will apply to.
I think it's really important to try to visit if you can, to come in person. Florida Southern offers a flight reimbursement where we can help pay for your flight, but if you can't come out in person, really make use of a lot of the virtual options. I think all of us on here probably have a really helpful virtual tour that you can connect with or get involved with different presentations that are happening online. Our goal is really to make sure that you have a chance to see what it feels like to be here, where you're going to be, at home for the next 4 years, to make use of those resources.
I would say to have fun with it. I know it's a really stressful process. You might not expect me to say, don't take it too seriously, but don't take it too seriously. Don't take it to the point where you are stressed out and think that your whole life is going to depend upon it. You will end up exactly where you need to be. Do things like this, learn, kind of be like a sponge, soak it all up, make your list. That way, if you're not a senior now, you are prepared this time next year. Or if you are a senior now, then, really crunch time, do it all now, and then enjoy the rest of your year. High school is supposed to be fun, so don't take it too seriously to the point where you're not enjoying the process as well.
Thank you. There's a question in the Q&A asking you all to describe your campus culture and environment.
Well, I'll keep it brief. I mean, I think Franklin's campus culture and environment is just, it's a very tightly knit, close knit campus where everybody, cares about each other, knows each other. With a student body of about 400. It means that you're going to be getting to know your classmates and going on trips with them and going on field trips with the same people and really getting to know them. So I think that is one thing that really sums up our student experience.
I would say the campus culture and environment at USF is really fun and exciting, and there's always something going on. You know, as I mentioned, we have over 1,000 student organizations and campus events, so you won't get bored. And I think one of the really great benefits to going to a big school is you could always make it feel smaller. If you go to a small school, you can't make it bigger than it actually is. And so some of the ways you can make it feel small is through getting involved.
So I would say the campus culture and environment at Essec would be very international, meaning that you will be mixed with students from all over the world, from a lot of different countries in Europe, because that's where we have the main campus, but also from students from the rest of the US or Asia or South America, for example. So that's something that you should keep in mind. And then for the rest, since you are all international students, you will all stay on campus for the weekend. So we have a lot of activities happening on weekends, exploring the city around, like Paris, other city in Europe, but also sport activities, social activities, art on campus. So you can definitely do different things on campus during the week, but also during the weekends.
As you can see behind me, we are located right across the street from Lake Hollingsworth. So it's really common for students on our campus to hang out, on the lake, to do their homework and stuff. And I really think that kind of frames the campus environment here. We're in a pretty suburban area. And because we're kind of in the center of the state, it's really easy to get out and explore. The college does a really good job of helping you go down to the Everglades or head over to Orlando or Tampa if there's a play or something going on you want to see. So it's really easy to make this feel like a small campus environment, but also to have access to bigger city stuff.
I kind of touched upon this earlier, but the fact that we have students coming from all over just also, it makes our campus have a diversity of interest as well. So it's a really great school for students who don't know if they want to be at the basketball game every weekend, or they don't know if they want to rush into Greek life necessarily. For instance, we're not like a go Greek or go home school, but it's there if you want it, and it's a very vibrant scene if you want it, for Greek life, for sports, for anything. And just, I named a few of the clubs like hammocks, snorkeling, scuba diving. I just think we have really unique student organizations, so you can really experience whatever you want to, and as your interests change, there's going to be something there for you as well. And we definitely have a campus that knows how to work hard, study hard, but also to relax. Again, Hammock Club is a good indication of that. So I love that Tampa is laid back and very active city because of the beautiful weather.
Well, thank you all for your responses. We are approaching the end of our college fair for today, but I do have a few closing announcements. As you exit from this Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 5 questions, but please complete the survey. It's extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings. I also want to remind you to sign up for additional sessions. And again, you can access this recording by visiting the website on your screen. I want to thank all of our presenters for joining us, but also thank you to our attendees. I hope everyone has a great evening.